right, for your Sunday night, we got the Monday Market Report. I'm your host Sean with Blue Ridge Silverhound. It is May 11th, 2025, the final day of the week for great collections. As far as their auctions. Okay, we had seen here just within the last couple hours some pretty big sales finally realize. And we're going to talk about them here today. Now, the coins that we generally talk about to recap the previous week of listings from Great Collections falls under what we call the modern era. All right, it's a set of coins that folks like us identify a little bit better because it's coins that we've seen before. There's a few obsolete type coins in there. I mean, we're all pretty familiar with what Buffalo nickels are and Standing Liberty quarters and Walking Liberty half dollars are. So, generally some of those might pop up, but for the most part, especially when we look at some of those longer duration legacy kind of series like Lincoln Cents, that is well in excess of 100 years old, that typically dominates these Monday market reports, and this week is no exception. I mean, we're seeing some unprecedented sales. There is no slowing down the top U.S. type coin series today. So I'm going to be thoroughly pleased to share some of this data with you guys here this evening for the MMR. So thank you guys again for tuning in. But before we do, I wanted to, say thanks to our channel sponsor, Whatnot. Wanted to throw out this quick little ditty out there. Let you guys know I sell on this platform as well. It's one of my favorite live social media auction platforms. It's the fastest growing. They have allowed me to join the world of e-commerce in a very safe way and to help provide collectibles and nice pieces to like-minded collectors out there who maybe doesn't have that big of a budget. So that's kind of like what I specialize in, is to help everyone out. So we do shows every Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern. We have another one coming up here this Friday. That's surely going to please. We've had some really great shows with some awesome inventory. If you're looking forward to possibly joining up to the next one, there is the QR code on screen. Go ahead and scan it today. And if you sign up under me, I will give you 1,500 pennies off your first item. By the way, that's $15. $15 off your very first item that you purchase, whether that's from me or someone else. But it gives you the inside track to save some money right away. If you didn't want to use the QR code, that's fine. We also have the description in the description box of this video, the clickable links, and we'll also have the link pinned in the comment section of this video. So that way you don't have to whip out your phone. You just go ahead and click on that link and you're good to go. Go ahead and sign up today, and I hope to see you guys this coming Friday. All right. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. And things are nutty in the Lincoln Cent market when we're kind of leading off the show with a 2022 Denver Lincoln Shield cent. I mean, folks, the year is 2025. This coin is only 3 years old. It has to be something of a joke, right? To have this coin featured. But no, I'm telling you, even some of the newer coins have to show up in the finest grades to help appease the registry set kind of community, the market. And it has been something of a anomaly for sure, as we continue to see some more of the highest graded, finest known examples. And it doesn't matter what date it is. We've kind of shown some other coins that probably are more deserving of the Monday market report. But the 2022D, that grades out at a mid-state 69 red, right, is actually a much bigger deal of a coin that some of you lead to believe. Even when it's graded by NGC, it really doesn't matter. I mean, that is such a stunner of a grade for any modern coin. Where they seem to have trouble making it beyond mid-state 67. So yeah, this one's here for the obvious reason that it's going to be a necessity in any Lincoln Cent registry. And yeah, the price, nice price tag, $1,350 was the final sale of this one tonight. And yeah, I'm with you guys. I mean, it's asinine to think that a coin like this would be worth $1,300, but you know, the coin market, the numismatics market is a funny one, and this will not be the last time that we see things like this pop up. Believe me, it's going to get crazier. The next one that we have here, however, this particular one, 1972 as Lincoln Memorial Cent. In case you guys are not aware, this date is the most expensive date in a top pop. That grade is Mint State 68. I believe it's a 68 or 67 plus. But in any event, we don't have that here. We have kind of like the consolation prize, I suppose. If you're looking for a 72S for your registry and you can't find that top pop graded example, you're going to have to settle for this one. So we saw that 67 plus red sell about 6 months ago for like $27,000 or something like that, which makes it the most expensive non-variety, non-error Lincoln Memorial Cent to date. All right, and it's not going to change anytime soon. And that when you hear how much this one coin sells here, which is not the finest grade, again, this one came in as 67 red. It sold for $3,475.12. That, excuse me? Yeah, I mean, that's, there are top pop coins. Like the previous coin, the 2022, we'll probably scoff at it and laugh about it over time. But, that coin didn't even muster $3,000. And yet this one right here, $3,475.12 for a secondary tier grade coin of this example, tells you everything you need to know about the importance of this date. 1972S. If you got BU rolls of these, God bless your hearts. Those BU rolls are like $40 to $60 in today's market, and it has everything to do with the fact that it is the most valuable coin in the highest grade. So yeah, I mean, it's crazy. You guys, I wouldn't lose too much sleep about it because it's a very rare BU roll to find. But yeah, I mean, the market's really crazy right now. So we got a couple premier varieties. These we all know about. 1970S, large date, doubled die obverse. This is the FS101. If not for the next coin on the list, this one would be one of the most rarest varieties, bar none. But it is not to be. However, this one is very impressive at Mint State 65 red. A lot of your doubling showcased on the motto. You see some on Liberty and also the date as well. Not nearly as impressive as the 69S. By the way, stay tuned. That coin's coming up next. But this one right here is quite scarce along the same lines as the 69S. So this one right here sold for $3,712.50. Mid-state 65s are, I'm not going to say they're plentiful, but it's the one grade where you're going to see more of an FS 101 than any other. So, that nice price tag, still a very rare coin, very valuable too, but this particular grade level here has kind of dropped off over the years. I remember talking about how 65 reds have sold for like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. So, the people that wanted these, they got their grade, and they're not looking to add another. On the other side of the spectrum, we got the 69S. This is, of course, kind of like what we all live and breathe and dream for is the 69S DDO FS101. I mean, one look at this, you guys know what we're talking about here. It's doubling. That'll give you a headache the more and more you stare at it, and that's okay. Because when we have a headache, what cures it? Rubbing $100 bills all over our head, after we sell this thing, because it is undoubtedly one of the most expensive coins and a top 10 most desired modern coin per Q David Bowers. And that's what we have here. So this one right here grades out Mid-State 63 red brown. You see DDO, double to die obverse, right on the slab label. And another big sale. I mean, this is not the finest known that we've seen, you know. We've seen this thing sell for many hundreds of thousands of dollars. This one, you know, $28,899.12 is a great payday on a coin like this. If you're able to find one and get it graded, these have to be graded 110% of the time. No one will buy this coin unless it has been certified and authenticated as being the real deal. So just wanted to let you guys know that. I've gotten a lot of questions, a lot of comments like, hey, I have this coin. I'll sell it to you for the same amount of money. I'm like, no, you won't. It's not graded. It's not graded. And, you know, second of all, I don't casually drop 20 large on a coin that I've never seen before in hand, nor have I, nor have I seen in hand. I mean, you know, there's really no other way to describe that. So please be cautious. If you have coins like this, you know what to do. Come on, there's no time to be stupid about it or being coy or cute or trying to, you know, get in over on the next guy. Get it graded. All right. Okay, continuing on to more pedestrian coins that I feel like that I could personally own. 1960, small date. Okay, this is a great variety. A little bit scarcer than the large date 1960, which, you know, I tell people it's more like the regular type. So this one right here, an original green holdered Mid-State 67 red PCGS coin is pretty nice. It's a registry set example, selling for $2,643.75. And yeah, we have to go back quite a bit further along. So there's like 28 years there that we skipped to a 1932D. One of my favorite dates, 1930 to 33. Bar none, my favorite dates. I don't know. They're just kind of like a very unique, short little date range of fun. Now this thing is an absolute mega lockpathon of, you know, just insaneness. Mid-State 67 plus red, CAC green stickered. There was a company that says, yeah, this thing is a 67 plus red, and totally agreed with it. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm good with it. Doesn't need any other influence or proof at all that it is indeed that grade. So this one right here got close to that 69S. It sold for $27,562.50. And again, shoot, golly, man, we could all use cash like this, especially with the height of inflation and, you know, just impending rise in costs of, you know, a lot of goods out there due to tariffs. I don't know, man. I just feel like that big wins like this is more of like a necessity in life of how we live than anything else. I'm just ashamed there's not more of these out there to go around to the folks that really need it. 26S, no doubt about it. This has been a semi-key date for the longest time. Only a few million of these were made, so no big secret here. This one, Mid-State 65 red brown, CAC certified, crowned as such, as you can see with that little green bean on there. Great coin. You know, I like the grade. I like the look. This one ended up selling for $10,406.25. Another big blossomer of the week. 1922 No D plain. This one with showcasing the strong reverse type. One of 4 different die pairings. And the strong is always going to be the most coveted because you want a coin that has a strong strike. And this one has it. So this one, XF40, kind of like a middle of the road, you know, if and only if you're a completionist of the series and you need this one in your collection. An XF40, you can't really go wrong. This one also has a CAC sticker on there. And $2,042.88. I never said it was cheap, but you know, for a lot of us out there that have one that one singular hole in that Dansko album for a 22 plain, no mint mark, yeah, you're gonna have to shell out some buco bucks to be able to say, yes, I'm 100% complete on the Lincoln Sun series. Next, so next, Nichols. Okay, Nichols. Things kind of, you know, taper off here a little bit. Lincoln Sense have been just running like a well-oiled machine. There has been less supply of all the other denominations, and I'm kind of scared, like there's going to be less quality Jefferson nickels, Roosevelt dimes, and things like that. Washington quarters were a no-show this week. Yeah, we'll get to that here in a moment, but wow. I mean, talk about one of the most amazingly rare varieties on Jefferson nickel, the 1949 D over S, the overmint mark of the ages. I mean, this thing is really cool. When it's this high a grade, you can really see the D over S there to the right of Monticello on the building. So PCGS did this one some huge props. Nice coloring on this one too. Mid-State 67 plus, CAC certified. I mean, great, awesome grade here on this one. $3,600 was the price that ended up stealing the show of the Jefferson nickels this week. This one is a true beauty. I would be proud to own one of these, but even more importantly, I'm just glad to see one actually sell. We haven't seen a 49D over S in quite a while. 1947S, just overall a great looking date. Now, 1940s coins are generally very well struck. They have above average luster. This one right here has kind of like a kind of old skin on there that really subdues any luster. Almost like a toning, but I don't know. It's not the most impressive look, but this one came in as a Mid-State 67, 5 full step designation by NGC. This one selling this evening for $2,531.25. And then we got Buffalo Nickels. Just a couple, but they're very impactful coins. How about 37D? Three-legged buffalo. Just crazy. And the reason why that I threw this one on here, because we sell these things every week. It's not so much that it's like a super rarity, but it is a phenomenal, variety that is highly coveted across many different collecting archetypes. This one, actually, the reason why I put this one on here is, and believe it or not, we had a few Annex graded coins on the list this week. Annex Old Soapbox AU58 coin here. This thing was graded back like in the late 80s or something like that. So, yeah, I mean, if we all looked at this, I wouldn't quite say it's a 58. I'd probably say it's more of a 55 than anything else in today's grading kind of scene. This one right here, what did it sell for? $1,812.38. And again, it's just really cool to see that old Annex slab for this one. Man, this thing's beauty. Yeah, it's a beauty. And it's a 1913S Type 1. So it shows the buffalo on a raised mound, the old original design work that wore off really poorly. So the 5 cents would wear off. By the time this thing gets to like XF condition, 5 cents would have been completely lost just due to regular circulation wear. But the color, oh my goodness, it's not in your face, but the little accents of magenta and pink and gold on this one is a true marvel, a real work of art. And it's, Mid-State 68. You throw in all these things into one coin and you have something that's quite impressive. It turns like, I'm not saying that a 13S Type 1 is an ordinary coin, but compared to the fact that a 13S Type 2 exists, it turns a rather ordinary coin into, something that probably deserves to be in a museum, to be honest. So this one sold, it's sold, very lightly. We're going to put it lightly here for $37,406.25. We are in full beast mode kind of like territory when we see coins like this with the look and the grade all thrown into one. Yeah, it's a really special time to see one of these sell. We also have a 44S, just really nice original crusty toning on this one, albeit it is a little bit more readily available of a coin in most high grades. This one NGC gave a 68 full bands to, and I'm okay with that on this one. Very clean coin. $1,854 was the final sale. 39S, a little bit tougher date. Now, this is our second Annex graded coin. We know why this one's here. Yeah, the toning. The toning in by itself is a completely separate market that commands all the respect. For those of you that have like this impulse that you want to dip the coin, I mean, think long and hard. You're going to be stripping away many thousands of dollars, turning what is, in this case, a coin that's sold for $1,181.25, and it's something that probably you'd be lucky to get $20-$30 for. So again, the original toning is very meaningful to such coins like this, where there are collectors who kind of like separate from the rest of the crowd, and now all of a sudden they're art historians and they want things like this. 1918D, a pretty interesting one here, as it was graded in a PCGS 30th anniversary OGH label. All right, so it's got that different green color to the label there. Unfortunately, no full bands. Probably about 40-60% close to having full split bands on this one. Also want to say this one was part of the William L. Parkinson collection. Probably had a registry set at some point. Anyways, this particular one is sold for $1,096.88. So we are beyond dimes. Now we are going to hop into a few quarters. Guess what? We went from like 0 to 60 in like 0 seconds because, there were no Washington quarters this week. Interesting. 1929 Philly Standing Liberty quarter, first one up. This one graded in an old school PCGS Rattler, a Gen 1 beauty, nice original skin to it. Mid-State 64 full head with a CAC sticker on there, so a nice early graded piece. This one sold for $1,463.62. The wild child of the week, I'm happy to say that an NGC coin has the distinction of, hitting the highest sold amount for the week on the MMR. Here we are, 1920S, a much tougher date than it looks, ladies and gentlemen. Some of you that collect the series, you just know, right? I mean, there's no underhanded kind of like thing that we're trying to pull here. The 20S is a tough date. Tough date in the highest possible grades. A 66 full head is such a gauntlet. And this one ended up tallying to $39,207.38. My mind goes numb when I constantly talk about these multi-tens of thousands of dollars coins. And, they're just casually being sold every week. But we do recognize that supply is dwindling. And, a 1919D, this is our third Annex graded coin, and this time it's not an old soapbox. This is a modern kind of iteration of an Annex holder with the round beveled top to it. 1919D in Mid-State 62. All right, gives you a little bit of insight as to how tough this date is. It's not quite 1921, but it's close. So this one, ladies and gents, if you had to get one and you needed a mid-state example, this one kind of like the low bar being set, $1,731.38. And the last couple coins are going to be a couple of just really stunning half dollars. 1970S. Okay, we know the lore of 1970S Kennedys. They didn't make any for a business strike. They just made them for mid sets, and then they made a few for proof sets, and that's it. The conversation's over, but boy, you come across one with just age-old thick toning with lots of color, it's awesome. Proof 68 is an average grade of this particular date, by the way. No cameo, no frost, none of that stuff. It's all color here, guys. And when a grader puts this one in a graded holder, without a details grade, then you got something really special. So, we highlight a few coins under $1,000. I just wanted to throw this one and say it's sold for $703.12. So, not too bad for some color. Someone could have very well picked this up in a dealer case at a show for $50. We wouldn't think any better. Send that bad boy off and, be the life of the party. The final coin, boy, one that I found probably three of, but never in mint state. That would be extraordinary. And they are 1946 doubled die reverse FS801. It's got all the doubling and the feathers, the plant, the E pluribus unum, you name it. Such a big chaser coin, and we don't talk about Walking Liberty House that much, right? It's just they do very well every week, but we had to throw this one in here. All right, this one selling for $3,206.25. I love the original, very light skinned toning on this one as well, meaning that it never got dipped. It's 100% original. It is what you get. And this one, I am not at all disappointed that this one ended up being the coin in a 66. It's just good stuff. So that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this edition of the Monday Market Report. Again, folks, the information in this video is educational. Do not take it as financial advice. Please collect and or grade your coins responsibly. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Much appreciative that you guys had taken time out of your day to come check out the hottest in the coin market. Recognizing trends, what's hot, what's cold, what's good. We get it every week, man. Whether it's through me or some of my other contemporaries, you're never going to be led astray. Thank you guys again. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Keep on collecting, and I will see you on the next coin video. So long.